Anybody? You guys have any exposure anywhere? You know anything about it?
Hey, funny, Shishant, yeah.
Yeah, just think.
Yeah, so my brief intro is like, we've been using ChatGPT.
Okay.
So that's my intro. And I also know that I think Google search engine is also based out of ChatGPT. Whatever search terms we are giving, so that's also kind of a ChatGPT. This is the
Right.
results are coming out.
Right.
As per my view, funny, the AI basically they're utilizing for analyzing the data and basically how the people are interaction with other devices. What are the data they are asking?
That's right.
So though those aspects they will consider and they will do that modeling and training that modules, especially the what type of questions they are asking.
Okay.
So that's what I observed, and yeah.
Good. Definitely. Before I jump into the presentation, I'd like to give you some insights on what is happening right now. Okay. I know some of you are already there in social media, but I'm not sure whether you are getting a bigger picture what is happening on a day-to-day, right? You might be getting some updates here and there from the people when you are in group discussions or somewhere in your office or somewhere, or in some news articles or something. That's how you are getting an update on AI, as per my understanding, right? I'll just show you one thing. What is where do we stand now? Okay, let me share my screen. A lot of advancements are happening right now. I'll try to showcase that. If you are in social media, probably you might have seen this video yesterday or day before yesterday. Anybody?
No
I
fun.
missed it.
No one, anyone knows about Tesla?
Yeah, Tesla, I know.
Yeah, what is Tesla? What product they are famous for?
They invented first. They came with the cars, which is automated driving.
Right.
Then they come up with other industries like robotic and
That's right.
yeah.
Exactly. And they have launched a product day before yesterday. It's just an recent advancement. What was happened? I'm trying to play this video. If you're able to, are you able to hear the audio?
No.
You are unable to. Okay. But don't worry. What I'm trying to say here is they just launched a product. Optimus is the product name. Nothing but this is just a robot. They are going to sell these robots now. You know, you have seen these in movies, right? Where a maid sitting as a robot in your home and taking care of the things. That's the future. Futuristic movies. Most of the sci-fi movies you might have seen, right? This is the one, autonomous assistant humanoid friend. What they are trying to explain in this video. Tesla, you know, the CEO, the guy Elon Musk, he launched this product yesterday. So this can do some kind of homemade related work for you guys. So why do we need these kind of robots? Or you may think that, but this is the revolution it is at right now. Okay. What I would say that the Tesla cars is an initial step for them, and now they are entering into your home right now with this machine. So the technology behind this one is obviously artificial intelligence and machine learning. What is meant by artificial intelligence? What is meant by ML? We'll just touch base on a high level in my next 1.5 hour session. And that's the main idea to showcase this video for you guys. Okay. With that, I'll start my presentation. Do you have any specific queries, you just keep those queries with you, because we'll definitely will have a Q&A session. And meanwhile, I would like to have this session as an interactive, so that I know about you people, and you know about me, and you know about AI and ML and so on. And that's the plan for me. Okay. Hope sounds good.
Of course, funny.
Great. I know some of you people already know about me, but I'll just give my introduction. Myself, Fani Chandrasekhar, I'm totally having 21 plus years of IT industry experience. Most of the time, I was into Microsoft technologies. I played different kinds of roles as a developer, a lead architect, program manager, technical manager, engineering manager as well. And I was some part of Scrum Master role as well. So I was playing various roles in the entire software development life cycle in my 20 plus years. During that tenure, I one thing I understood is you need to be keep learning. That's the main agenda, main motive for any people, any person, whoever is entering into IT field. If you are missing that aspect, you would be staying behind, and you have to struggle a lot. You see, a lot of changes are happening right ahead in the IT industry right now, and there are ups and downs in your career. I know most of you are already facing that. So to overcome that, only the option is keep learning. That's the main motive. I had that in my mind for a long period, and I jumped into this bandwagon around a couple of years back. I did my PG program from Triple IT Hyderabad on artificial intelligence and machine learning. It's a 9 month program where I was able to understand what is happening around AI and ML, and what is the history of AI and ML, and what are the outcomes nowadays happening in the last 2 years. Definitely, I'm closely following up on, and even whatever is going to happen in the next 5 years, I have some idea. So I thought it's a 9 month program, and I learned most of the part, theoretical and legacy theorems or algorithms, what were there, which were introduced into our last 30-40 years of AI world. Those things I was able to understand. But in the last 1.5 year, the advancement is too fast, and most of the people are actually missing the timelines as well, and they're missing the updates also most of the time. So one thing I understood, that the program, whatever I learned, might be outdated immediately after 6 months. I Because of that, I thought, is this necessary to spend longer period? Because it depends on the role which you are playing, right? For example, if you are a developer, you do have a full stack development capability. If you are a business analyst, you do have a functional domain expertise with you. And what happens when suddenly AI comes into your picture in your field? And is it completely taking your job, or complete automation is going to wipe out your job? Is the concern most of you people are already having, right? So you will get some of the answers. I would say most of the answers in this session. I'll try to give you a walkthrough on what is happening around AI and ML, what kind of roles which are there evolving right now, and how you can jump into that path with your own expertise, right? I don't think that your expertise is not going to be helpful for you in this program or in this path anywhere. Definitely it is going to help, because most of you are having around 2 to 3 years to 5 years to 10 years to 15 years, around 20 years. Some of you are already having expertise in your specific fields or respective domains, right? That is not going to, you are not going to lose that expertise, because for example, if a new program or a new package comes into the market, usually what happens is that would target specific group of people or specific domains or specific areas. But in this case, AI, it is actually targeting most of the domains, service oriented, manufacturing, and a lot of areas which are non-technical as well as technical. Even if you are a non-technical person who is working on your own domain, maybe manufacturing, maybe organic, maybe chemical, maybe pharma, lot of sales, marketing, lot of domains are there which are being targeted now with AI. That means whoever is having that expertise, they can add these AIML concepts, the AI knowledge along with their expertise, and you can jump forward and you can accelerate immediately. So you won't fall behind the people whoever is running with you. And the good part is you do have the domain expertise because you might have worked on different kind of projects. I'm not talking about the freshers, but of course, I'm talking about the experienced people who already had your own domain expertise. You can jump in with along just you add your skills AI to AI ML, and you just try to apply your thoughts within that specific domain. Okay, that helps a lot for you. That's the reason what I'm saying is don't worry about it. First of all, don't be panicked. It is not going to take your job. And there is a saying, people say that AI is not going to replace your job. People who learn AI are going to replace your job. So make sure that you start learning it. And one more important aspect, I would say, it is not going to happen on a single day. For me, it happened around 1.5 year. I did that groundwork and explored on various areas. And then I realized that there are branches within it again. Okay, so if somebody is saying that he is an AI expert, don't think that he knows everything. He might have chosen a path within it, and he might have jumped into one small branch within it, and then he's narrowing down his own domain, and then he's trying to acquire the skills, and he's trying to get the job. That's what it is. So there are different branches in this area. My main agenda in this webinar is to give you some objective in such a way that you just try to map your experience skills along with the roles which are existing in current AI and ML world, and you can map that to that corresponding role, and you can build your career. Okay. And coming to my program, it's just an introductory program. Don't think that I'm making you the master within AI ML immediately, because the subject is too vast. And some people may say that you won't be able to do it because there is a maths within it, there is a programming within it, there is some theoretical concepts which you may not be able to understand at this time, at this age. But don't think like that, because we do have specific roles or who are interested on mathematics and who are interested in calculus probability. And we do have specific roles for the people who are interested on programming and doesn't have that capability, math capabilities. And we do have some roles for the people who can work on a specific tool. They don't need a mathematical capability, they don't need programming capabilities, but they can understand the AI tools so that they can work with the AI tools. Okay. And even there is a lot of market where consumer area. Okay, for example, in AI and ML we are building some models, but people not everyone needed for us to build some models, because models are already built. There are around 8,000 plus models are already built in the market, and most of them are open source and some of them are proprietary. I'll try to explain to you what are those models and why we needed these kind of models, these number of models also. So point here is not everyone needed to build a model. Some of you can directly um, take that model into your system and work on a specific business case. If you are working with a company, that company might need this model. They just need to adapt that model, and they have to train that model against their own data, their own customized proprietary data. And then that model will work for you as a tool, as an assistant, or a chatbot, or a virtual assistant, or a voice assistant, anything it can be converted into. Okay, once that is done, we need a workforce who can work with these kind of tools, AI tools. For example, imagine that Salesforce is trying to come up with a voice-based assistant for their customers. So previously they do have customer support, call support, tech support, right? Now those jobs are gone. Customer care support is not going to happen with manual process now. They are trying to convert everything into a virtual assistant. It is similar to your Alexa. If you guys know about Alexa, this Alexa kind of a voice support assistant is going to respond back to your queries. For example, if you do have some technical issue on your banking transaction, net banking transaction, you reach out to a tech support file. He might assist you. That is what the existing scenario. But now what happens is you might get a voice chatbot communicating with you. And I know there is existing chatbots are there. Some of the chatbots and IVR system is already there. Most of you already know that, right? Interactive voice response system, where you press 1 and it responds with some answers, press 2 and it responds with some answers, which are recorded voices, right? Those are rule-based system. Usually we call it as, if rule 1 is applied, response A. If rule 2 applied, response B. Something like that. They form these rules. Based on these rules, actually, the most of the systems were working in current environment, which are already existing ones, and we are already facing a lot of challenges. You are frustrated with pressing those numbers, and even after reaching out to that particular number 9 or 8 step, you will get a frustrated answer, and you will be coming out of that IVR system itself, and you are going to scroll that entire system. That is what is right now happening. But the thing got changed now. Now what happens? The model will be responding to you. If you already have applied, used ChatGPT, you might have already know that there is a voice-based system also available in ChatGPT right now. If you are a ChatGPT Plus user, so basically, even that is conversing with the users now in Telugu as well, in local region languages, or in any language in basically in AP or in entire India. So voice-based systems are already part of it. That's what. That is the reason I'm saying it is not actually replacing your job, but it is creating more jobs for you. You just need to find those jobs and jump into that role, and just add those skills with your profile, so that you will be in the system at least for next 15-20 years. I would say that. Okay. With that, I'll try to move on to the next slides. Basically, here my agenda is to give you on what is happening on AI and ML current scenarios, current trends, and then what is machine learning and what is artificial intelligence, and what is a model basically. Why everybody is talking about a model? What is this? And then on a high level, I'll explain about the model functioning, and then I'll try to explain my course, what exactly you are going to do, who is eligible for this course. So basically, anybody who is new to AI are eligible to this course, even if you are a technical or a non-technical guy, even if you are having a programming knowledge or non-programming knowledge, you are eligible basically. But good to have skills are actually, if you are aware of mathematics, that is well and good. You can deep dive more into the system. And if, or else, even if you want to learn the mathematics now is also fine, because I do have better resources for you to get a clear picture on what is vector algebra, what is linear algebra, what is probability. These are the main concepts which we are going to talk about in the parts of AI and ML. Of course, we are not writing any algorithms or theorems here. Those are all converted into programs now. So, for example, if you are talking about a Bayes theorem in probability, or if you are talking about integral calculus or linear algebra, vector algebra, all these are converted into programs, and these programs are being maintained in C and C++ libraries right now. You don't need to know about these libraries. You just need to know those naming conventions and their methods and classes. You just need to call them so that you'll get an output. So you don't need to worry about the background story of these programs also. That's the reason I'm saying good to have. The skills are mathematics, but even if you don't have mathematics skills and you don't want to learn about it, that is also fine. There are specific roles for you guys where you can jump in and you can work on that. Okay. So far, any questions? Am I giving more confusion, more queries to you people?
No, funny, we good. Following.
Correct. Any queries so far? Confusion? Anything? Please, because whatever I'm going to give you definitely blow your mind. Abundant information is there, which I thought just to give you a tip of the iceberg. Imagine if this is the tip of the iceberg, what is there inside it, inside within it, it definitely will blow your mind. My suggestion would be keep learning on a daily basis. Even if you are joining the course or even if you are not joining the course, my suggestion would be just try to explore on the concepts on a daily basis. At least 5 to 10 minutes spend on Twitter or social media or anywhere, not for your regular communication with your friends and groups, but for exploring on the advancements that are happening around AI and ML. I can show you those source and references as well, where you can find out all these information and where you can gain this knowledge. Because on a daily basis, if you're spending 5 minutes, after 3 months of your time, imagine how many hours you are spending on this content, and you will be blown your mind. Because um, you would be in a position to talk about a concept at least for 10 to 20 minutes if you can do that. Okay, that is what the first step for you to face any kind of interviews around this part. This helps you a lot, because if somebody knows that um, you are having a touch base on the cutting edge technologies on a day-to-day basis, and if you at least the video whatever I have shown to you, right? Probably if you are not doing this kind of exercise, you might get this video maybe after a month or so in your inbox, or somebody might be sharing you on WhatsApp or something like that. Because that 1 month gap is there, right? That's the difference between the people who try to explore and people who try to um, I mean the next level of users who try to experience the things when already the things got happened and got successful, right? So just to try to be on top of these areas, I'll try to share with you some of the groups in Twitter and LinkedIn and Facebook. These groups will provide you a lot of information, abundant information, even some theoretical information also. In a 5 minute reading, you will simply understand what is a transfer, what is model, how what kind of algorithms are being followed in a model, right? So that helps a lot. All right. So anybody know about this guy? The next person. You know, the board is there anyway in the background. People might know about it. Andrew Ng is known. Okay, he's the founder of Coursera, but it is not the specific thing which we are talking about. He is actually a very good mentor, and he tries to share the knowledge. I would say maybe he is one of my inspiration, because he gave a number of lectures in Stanford and Harvard on machine learning, neural networks, artificial intelligence. What is that? And he tries to bring the concepts to a level that can be understandable to at least to 5 to 10 years of experience to people, kids, 5 to 10 years kids also. That's how he brought the technology to the ground to the people. And there are a number of videos, YouTube videos you can search for, which are available there, which give you some high-level understanding and what is AI and ML. And he started some courses as well, deeplearning.ai, something like that. But the thing is, you need a direction, first of all. That's what the direction I would like to give you. In my 4 weekend programs, what I'm trying to explain is, this is what AI on a high level, this is what ML on a high level, this is what deep learning on a high level. This is in the same order: AI, ML, deep learning, neural networks. So once you get that idea, and then there are 4 to 5 branches before you. You are at the cross junction. For example, I'll tell you, there is one specific branch called NLP, natural language processing, where it will generate the text. If you enter a text, it will generate the text. It is nothing but your chat GPT, which you are talking about, right? That is one branch. And that there is another branch called computer vision, where you put some text there, it will generate an image for you, or it can generate a video for you, right? This is the second area. And the third area is voice recognition. You give some text and ask the model to convert this into a voice based. It will generate the voice for you. So even you give some voice file and ask the model to respond back within voice. That is where your IVR system got replaced. Means your chatbots or voice-based chatbots are basically a kind of Siri or kind of Alexa, which are already working on, right? On your mobiles, they're already working. So similar kind of functionalities. So these are all different areas and different branches diving into different domains again. In your healthcare, manufacturing, finance, sales, marketing, um, most of the domains, pharma, whatever, in cultivations, yeah, or in research. There are more research related areas in all the domains, right? So everywhere they're trying to implement, they're trying to apply these functionalities, and they're trying to do some automation so that that reduces the manpower, and then the manpower will be concentrated on some other work. That's the main agenda here. So don't think that the AI is killing your jobs, but it is going to um, bring more jobs actually around that. And this guy mentioned this as a new electricity, because when electricity got introduced around 18th century, late 18th and 19th century, um, industrial revolution occurred. So most of the industries were steel industry and then manufacturing. They started, and then whoever adopted that technology there itself became developed countries, right? US and UK. Most of these people, they adopted this technology, electricity, and then converted them into manufacturing, and most of the infrastructural development happened there. Now he is assessing this AI era is also similar to electricity. So whoever is trying to adapt this, whatever country is trying to adopt these technologies, they are going to be the next developed countries. That's what it is. So I'll give you more resources on this guy, what he has done, and how you can go through these courses so that you can understand more. So I would suggest, don't think that your AIML learning program would be ending on 4 weekends. No, not even 3 months, not even 6 months. Imagine that it is a 9 months to 1 year program. And it depends on the role you are trying to play. Okay, there are major roles like data scientist, data engineer, machine learning engineer, ML engineers. These are the top 3 roles which involve more conceptual, more mathematical, more programmatic understanding needed. If you're already a programmer, I think you would suggest that you would go with that. And if you're interested in mathematics, then definitely you will be succeeded without any doubt. And the other option is that the second layer, where you don't need mathematical understanding, you don't need to build a model, but you have to use the model, right? Imagine that you are in a finance domain. Imagine that there is a financial statement, and your company is thinking that some of the financial statements need to be analyzed and need to take some decisions. Manual effort, if you are included there is a chance that the predictions from the human brain might be biased in some of the areas. Biased in the sense you will be leaning towards specific concepts or constraints within it in your functional statements, your financial statement. Whereas the machine, if you are considering machine to take that decision for you, machine will think in such a way that it will try to find out the patterns within the data, and it will give you the all positives, negatives, advantages, and then what are the best options for you to take a specific decision. So decision making is actually now advanced in an advanced level. And what we are trying to do is we are trying to bring that decision making into AI and ML. That's the reason AI and ML is being now getting more and more and more advanced. Okay, so AI is trying to mimic human brain. That is what it is happening in the background. If somebody is saying that artificial intelligence, it is actually versus human intelligence. Natural intelligence is nothing but your human intelligence, and it is trying to mimic our human intelligence, and it is trying to take the similar decisions, even if human is there in the same position, what kind of a decision he might have taken. The same decision making is happening with AI. That's where AI ML is there. And what is ML? Machine learning is the back engine for AI. AI have to take a decision, but what happens? ML will provide that support to AI, saying that, okay, I found some patterns in this data. Based on that, you take the decision. That gives to AI. Then AI will be thinking in a way that, okay, what would be the best option out of this, and then it will suggest you that. That's what the AI is doing for you. But in the background, ML is the core part, which is actually doing the groundwork for you, right? That is what machine learning. And then what is deep learning? We'll talk about it. Don't worry. I'll give you more steps on that. So nowadays, what is happening here is, you know, most of the companies trying to market themselves saying that they are AI companies. How many of you agree with this? See, if you ask somebody to say that, sell me this pen, now companies are saying in such a way that this pen is AI powered. Will you be able to sell it? And they're trying to increase the cost of the product also, saying that this is AI enabled. Even if they are simply using ChatGPT in their products, they are simply announcing that this is AI enabled product. But that is not the case actually. That is what it is happening right now. So be cautious. If somebody is saying that it is an AI company, just go to their products and services, and you'll try to get some more bigger picture. Just go through their services. You'll get to know if they are building the model, or if they are trying to use a model and then trying to use some tools, building the tools, or if they are trying to use the tools which are already available. There are three categories. First category, builds the model. Second category, using that model, they will build some tools. Third category, people who are using those tools, nothing but the consumers, right? So you can target any kind of a group, any group of people, and then choose your path. If you want to be part of building a model, then data scientist, ML engineer, data engineer roles are there for you. And if you want to, somebody saying something? Okay, if you want to build some tools based on the models which are already existing, you just need to build a web application. But now web application would have a automated AI chatbot assistant within your application. You will just build that. So in the background, you're just calling an API to the model. So model will be trying to talk to the system, and the system will be showcasing your chatbot or virtual assistant, voice assistant, anything that can happen. So that means if you are a full stack developer, you're just trying to add AI capabilities in your development. That's the second category. And the third category is you built the tool and somebody is going to use that tool, right? So for example, content generators like YouTubers, marketing, social media marketing people, whoever is doing it, they're trying to build the content. They are going to use these tools like Canva. There is a tool called Canva. If you are a YouTuber or if you are a social media marketing content generator, you'll get to know what is that. Even YouTube and your Gmail, Google, all of these tools are bringing their AI capabilities in the background, right? So because of adding those tools to those capabilities to these models or tools, they are raising the cost of all these tools. Inherently, you have to pay more. Because whoever is the AI consumer, they have to pay more. So that's how the tool builders also gaining. So even if you are a freelancer and if you try to build personal chatbot assistants for all the websites, that's a huge work for you actually. If there are thousands of websites or millions of websites are there, adding a chatbot assistant for a website is to the customer is definitely a small program. It just needed one pager program and one code, and you just need to use some OpenAI capabilities which are already available from open source models or else proprietary models if you have a data privacy issue. So you can build that bot and then you can earn the money. That's what I'm saying. So there are different ways are there. You can earn the money or you can earn the job, and you can choose the path where you can settle. So this is the direction I would like to give. And I'm not saying that you will be a data scientist by end of 4 weekends and you will be an ML engineer or a data engineer. But my point is, I'll show you the path, I'll show you the resources, I'll show you the material, I'll show you what you have to do, at least in the next 3 to 6 months of program. And my main agenda is I'll try to continue the community. I'm generating a community, building a community where you will be part of it. And we will have regular touch base calls where we'll try to gain more experience together, learn together, and build our path, career path. We can build your profiles as well. That's what the main agenda for me for now. I'll just give the introductory on 4 weekends, and then we'll jump into the community where you can share the knowledge on a regular basis. Why I'm saying this, because once you've done your course, it is not end of the story. Because every week, as I mentioned, there is an advance happening. So whatever you learned in the last month might be changing, but at least you should be knowing what is happening. And you need to know whether that new advancement will survive for long or it is going to be surpassed by some other tool. Okay. How many of you know about LoRa, Sora, or any image generation tools? Anyone? I'll try to show you some videos, at least that would give you one understanding where we are standing right now. There is a model called Flux One, which is actually now generating the videos in such a way that the videos and the image quality are outstanding, and it is generating through simple liners, 2-3 liners. You just give the line, and then obviously it is generating a high quality videos and the audio files as well. It is combining audio and video together, and it is generating the movies also. It is just to give you what is happening right now. Um, of course, the current models are in a way that they do have limitations of generating the video for at least 10 seconds, I believe. But if you properly look at the movies you are watching, most of the frames are changing within 10 seconds. That means you can generate a movie. Okay. Let me jump into Twitter so that gives you easy samples. Anybody come across this text to video generation before?
No, funny.
Never, right? Okay. You will be mind blown actually. Have you seen this video? This is a generated video. There is a simple text behind it. A girl riding a white bear in the cities of New York or something. That's the text. And this is the video generated. Imagine if you can do, you can do wonders actually. Lot of things are there which you will be amazed with, because which are actually not happening right now. Imagine a movie like Bahubali or RRR to be built. How much time he has taken, right? Rajamouli. He almost took 5 years of time to build Bahubali. Now it can happen within 5 minutes on a machine where you can generate the videos which are actually giving you more quality, more expressive, and all kind of backgrounds, whatever, unimaginary. I mean, it is beyond your imagination. You can bring in any kind of um, backgrounds or graphics or anything. You can build any kind of a story now, sci-fi story, mythological stories, anything can happen right now. That's the reason Hollywood is more worried now. And even last year, the Writers Guild or Association of Writers from Hollywood, they have already um, they brought some moment like to ban AI to build the stories, because you can ask an AI model to build a story for you, build the characters for you, and combine the story characters, and just give the team to a model saying that I need a thriller story. I need two, three characters around it. I want a run cat and mouse game, a spy game kind of a thing. You just give the theme, and then it generates a story for you. Once the script is ready, you ask the model to generate the dialogues for you. It will generate the dialogues, and you'll have a script for you. Now you use that script to your image generation model, Flux or anything. So it generates the videos for you frame by frame, and you combine those videos, and together it can build a movie for you. Now Pepsi and most of the bigger companies are already doing this. They're trying to build the ads with AI. If you have seen the Pepsi recent ad, you might have seen that, uh, because they are using the AI part within it. This is an AI generated ad, right? You can imagine what are the things that are happening right now. Here, the characters, whatever you are looking at, are actually all are imaginary. No actors within it. Whatever you are seeing, you won't be even to able to find these images, these face within the internet. That is how the model will bring the character. Model will bring an unique features into the character in such a way that you won't find these facial recognition anywhere in your internet search. If you try to find out, that means this actor is not exist. It is just creating a ad here. You understood, right? That's where we are right now. Okay. All right. Introduction is done with most of the part. What is where we are trending right now, and I'll talk about AI and ML now. What is AI and what is ML? Basically, as I mentioned already, artificial intelligence is uh, nothing but trying to mimic the things for you, whereas machine learning is trying to find the patterns within your data and trying to give you more inputs so that the AI can take the decision. Even in some of the areas, your machine learning also trying to take the decisions. There are different scenarios, these cases, business cases where ML will take the decision for you. If you are wondering whether this is already entered into your life, yes, it is. For example, I'll tell you the cases. Alexa is already there. Siri is already there. These are all working and they are based on machine learning. Even your Google search is already working on a machine learning based algorithm. Okay, and in your Amazon Prime or Netflix, the recommendation system, whatever it is showing you, right? It depends on the genre of the movie you already watched, right? That is listing out all kind of similar ones. Even in the YouTube also, similar kind of videos are being pushed to you to look into as the watch list. So these are already happening within your in household only, most of the time. So somebody raising a question. All right. If you look at this picture, AI is the superset here. ML is the subset of AI. Whereas the data science part is actually intersection of AI and ML and big data and deep learning. So some people might be confused about what is AI, what is ML, what is data science, and why deep learning came into the picture, and what are all these things, and what are these things going to do in my career, right? So don't worry about it for now. Try to understand AI and ML, and data science is actually dealing with the data. Whatever data you do have, abundant of data we do have in internet, that can be analyzed, and then you can take a decision on top of it. That decision making can happen with machine learning, and AI is actually building the tools on top of it. So that's the main agenda of these areas. And this Venn diagram should give you some clear picture. If you're already uh, belonging to the data related roles where you are taking care of the data, if you have an SQL knowledge and Power BI or Tableau or Oracle or any kind of data analysis, you are already part of AI and ML. That's what I would like to say. Don't worry that you haven't gone the knowledge on AI ML, but you will be base for the all these roles, because data is the uh, engine for our main functioning. I would say fuel, where engine would be our AI ML, but engine need to have a fuel, right? That is what data here. So if there is no data, then we don't have AI ML. So how many of you are aware of AI? I mean, at what time of your age actually you heard AI? Or else my question would be, what would be the evolution year for AI? If you are knowing about AI, when do you think that AI started? In which year? Any idea? Just guess it, no problem. Doesn't need to be a wrong answer. No idea.
I didn't.
Sorry?
Sometime during maybe late 90s, wherein we have this deep computers playing chess with Vishwanathan Anand.
Right, that's right. Around it is, but actual year is 1950s, I would say. Okay. Then immediate question might come to your mind: why, even if the AI and machine learning started the early stages of the 1950s, then why this is not evolved, and why it is now being progressing in an acceleration? There is a reason for that. So we'll talk about that in the history of AI, because we don't have the data first during that phase in 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Until 90s, we didn't have the data, right? That is one of the main reason. The other reason is we need high computing power, means your machine configuration should be higher to do the calculations for AI and ML. Because of that, we were unable to bring in the practical cases. Though theoretical concepts were there, theoretical algorithms, theoretical problems were there, resolutions were there, solutions were there on paper only. But all of these were possible because when we were able to got this upgradation. Okay. Anybody know about Moore's law? There is a Moore's law which is actually talking about the machine configuration. Moore's law states that every 18 months, your machine configuration is getting doubled, while the cost being half. Okay, that means right now, if you are having a 8 GB machine in your system, in your local machines, it will be 16 GB after 1.5 years or 2 years. I mean, that I'm talking about the state of the art, latest ones. And then the price would be half most of the time. So that is what the Moore's law states. Because of that upgradation every 1.5 years and so on, it's been since 1990s it is happening. Now, at the year of 2009 around, we were able to get that higher configuration, which can calculate the higher numerical calculations. So basically, floating point numbers, floats in programming knowledge, you can say simply decimal values. Multiplication of these decimal values is the core concept, which is taking more configuration, more consumption energy to do these calculations. Because of that, it took long period for us to understand why we need this much of time. Okay. Now I'll just jump into history of AI. Before that, just one small slide here. We are in narrow AI right now. There are two types of AI. One is weak AI, and the other one is strong AI. Okay, we are still at weak AI because it is trying to mimic the human capabilities now, but it is not acting like a human right now. That is what the AI doing right. But in future, maybe in next 2 years or 3 years, 2 years or 3 years, I'm saying not 20 years or 30 years, it is possible that AI robot can think on its own and take the decisions. Now, what happens is it is trying to take the human intervention for the decision making and suggesting the human to do something. Okay. Some existing examples are all Siri, Google Assistant. Your Facebook facial recognition is already there, which is already kind of machine learning. Okay. And then streaming services like Netflix, everything. But the next level is AGI. If somebody is talking about AGI, remember that they are talking about artificial generative intelligence. Artificial intelligence, AI, is already there. But what is AGI? AGI is nothing but it is trying to behave like a human completely. Now it doesn't have emotions, right? At some point of time, it can get that emotions as well, and then it will take the decisions on its own. But there will be rules abide to it. There will be rules binding to it. So you might have seen some scientific movies as well where robots taking control of the things. Uh, that is possible, may or may not possible. But right ahead, right now, we are safe. The strong AI yet to be received, and people thinking that quantum computers is the new technology which is coming in future next few years. There are already advancements are happening around it, but once we are able to get that technology, the computing power will be very minimal. You don't need to put more cost into your machines. Then this is possible. Once this is available, I would say 60 to 70% of human work can be automated. Then what we are going to do, right? That's an open question and open discussion or a debate for to discuss later. But the point is, definitely we are at the edge stage right now. You have seen that robots ad, right? That happened yesterday, day before yesterday, and they are selling those robots for $30,000. So it will work like a Alexa. It will work like a computer. It will work like anything, any mind-related automation activities. You can give it to this robot. Along with that, some physical activities it is already taken care of. Means your homemade work, building lifting the weights and moving the things from here and there, and then taking your dog for a walk. And now Elon was saying that be friendly with these robots, and they are going to serve drinks in your bar. That is going to happen. So imagine what is going to happen in the next 3 years. I'm saying 2 to 3 years. Okay. So coming to the history, this is what the AI history. Basically, it started around 1950. How many of you know about a person called Turing? Anybody heard about it? His name, Turing. His name is Alan Turing. If you have studied computers in your graduation, probably you are aware of it. Turing machine is there, which was actually a state-based machine, which will take some decisions. If you give some input to it, and it will give some output, kind of a state mechanism. That was built based on the machine learning. Basically, it was built around 1950s. But there is a core idea for this. This guy Alan Turing is more famous because he worked with the alliances, US and UK alliances in the Second World War during 1940s. Usually, the German army was having a system called forgot the name. So this particular system is actually trying to encrypt all the messages, and Enigma, I think that's the name. This guy Turing able to crack that encryption decryption, where the German army is sending the messages to and fro, and this guy is able to crack that, and then because of that, the Second World War was ended within 6 years. Otherwise, people state that it may prolong for more 5 years, 4 to 5 years. Imagine how many lives that he has saved. Turing, Alan Turing. This is the guy, and even now in computer science, a prize similar to Nobel Prize is given on his name, Turing Prize. They call it as. If you are following the news, the last week only, one of the father of neural networks got the Turing Nobel Prize. His name is Jeffrey Hinton. Jeffrey Hinton is the main person, core person for building the neural networks in machine learning and deep learning. So deep learning, he is the father who built some backpropagation algorithms in the 1980s. Because of that, there is a lot of advancement happened, and then immediately in 2009 or 2008, we got the technical capabilities to apply those algorithms. And now he got this Turing Award this year. Okay, so 1950s, 60s, 70s, most of the time theory was built, and in 1980s there was an algorithm called back propagation which was introduced. Because of that, we were able to advance more in terms of machine learning and deep learning. There is a period in between 1960s to 80s, actually. We call that as an AI winter period, where they don't have the funds, they don't have the technology to implement all these ideas. So they were just trying to write some papers, research papers during this phase. So we call that phase as the AI winter period. And luckily in 1980, 80s web propagation was evolved, and then machine learning got picked up, and the deep learning got accelerated in the early 2000s. And 2017, there was a concept introduced like transformers, which is the core principle for your ChatGPT models, whatever you are looking at right now, large language models. Okay, we call them as large language models. I'll show you that how the large language models also working on, and I'll show you some tools also. I'll just give you some walkthrough around these concepts as we move on. So these are some steps which have happened in the history of AI. There is a concept called perceptron, which built based on that back propagation I was mentioning, right, in 1980s, which was introduced. And then deep learning introduced, and then some artificial neural networks introduced, and there is a model called stable diffusion was introduced. This stable diffusion was the base model for the videos I'm talking about here. So text to image or text to video, these models are built on stable diffusion. Okay. Any questions so far? Am I giving more and more confusion?
No, funny.
Okay. All right. These are some of the industries which are actually, I mean, capabilities basically. Why these are actually more of demand in right now, and what are all the fields which are under touch basing all these concepts? I'll try to explain. So mostly the social media networks, and then manufacturing, service based, and then customer based, CRM related domains, and then healthcare, research, finance, space, whatever industry you pick up, you are having acceleration there in around AI. So don't think that we will be getting only IT related jobs from now on. There is a possibility that you may jump into a domain, pharma company, where you might be needed there. You might need build some models there for them, and that might stable your job as well. That's what I mean to say. Okay, so a number of opportunities are there. It is not only stick with the IT industry. That's what I mean to say. You see, customer services, they are looking for chatbots and assistants. Healthcare, they are looking for disease predictions, um, personalized treatments. Now you can create a model assistant which can work like a psychologist. It can talk to anybody. It can give you moral support if somebody is down and having some depression kind of thing, and then they are not ready to take any input from the doctors. These chatbots or voice-based assistants can act like it is a psychologist or mentor or a guide, and guide these people to come out of the depression. That is what the wonderful thing actually happening. And coming to the retail sector, there are some recommendations to these retail markets, how they can sell their products, and it will find the patterns of the current sales, and it will give the suggestions to the companies saying that you can change your pattern of selling, or you can change your pattern of marketing, you can change the pattern of the product that you are giving to them, and you can I mean, it will find the patterns in such a way that what kind of a product is being sold in which particular season higher, and is there any step back or leads not converting into the customers? If that is the case, why it is happening, and what can be taken care of? Your ROI can be increased. So that is what the main criteria here. And coming to the agriculture, precision farming, you mean to say it can predict the next 6 months or 1 year or next 5 years of your cultivation based on your history, 50 years, 100 years, what happened in that soil, what type of crops were being taken there, and what kind of pesticides were used, and what is the rainy season, or how the seasons are being affecting that area soil. All these information is already there in the data, right? So now you can build a model which can try to find the patterns around these data and give you some predictions, give you some suggestions, give you some statistical information. Based on the statistical information, it will predict the things. Okay, so that is open again. And coming back to social media, content generation is there. Nowadays, people are automating their YouTube channels. Their video generation is possible now. All voice is possible now. Content text is possible now. Articles are possible now. Automated. Everything is got automated. You just need to create some agents who those agents can work for you as assistants. Those agents can build some content for you. It can create a blog for you. It can send the post to multiple social media accounts. You don't need to do anything. You just need to configure that and give the input to your agent. Say that next 30 days, I need to post an article on a daily basis in my social media posts. Your agent will take care of that. So who is building that agent? Again, your AI full stack developers will be doing that. So building agents, building the agents on top of the models is going to be a huge market. Okay. And next, the finance is one of the important aspect which I'm talking about. You know, you can imagine, you can predict the stock market value now. Accuracy might be varying from 70 to 90%, but there is a possibility. I'm not saying that it is 100% true. You can follow that, but there is a change that at least it can predict how your stock value will be predicting based on the next past 50 to 30 years of its history. And it will try to bring in all kind of criteria like seasons, political things, calamities like corona or something like that. There is a pattern for these as well, right? Even floods, entire next last 50 to 40 years, and the droughts in countries, in which areas more droughts are coming in, what uh, based on the timelines, in what time, at what time these things are coming in. All these are being predicted now. So what is behind the story behind that? You are building some models on top of your data. That model will train on that data. That means it will try to find the patterns around the data, and then that model will take some decisions. Now you ask some questions to that model. Model will answer you saying that, okay, based on my data understanding, you can do this one. You can do the next steps. You can avoid these do's and don'ts. It will tell you. That's what. And then transportation, autonomous vehicles, it is already there. Tesla cars, which is already being driverless cars, and CC cameras. Nowadays in China, they have they have already used this modeling and then artificial intelligence in their CC cameras during the corona phase, where they're trying to recognize the patients if they are skipping these quarantine periods and they're moving from one city to other city. Immediately they are able to recognize that. Along with that, they have used the same technology to recognize the criminals in their records history. It will just try to find the facial recognition, and then it will raise an alarm to the police department nearby. Immediately these people will be capturing that guys within minutes. That's what it is happening. So these are already happening, and there are n number of areas where you will get more and more stuff which is being happening, and you can be part of this anywhere. You can build the tools, you can build the models, you can become your own, you can become a consumer to the tool, where use that tool and then automate your own personal work, anything. Okay. Some funs and facts I just mentioned here, just for your understanding. Alan Turing, I already mentioned about that guy, right? First person. They call him as the father of machine learning, something like that. And then in 2023, DeepMind's AlphaFold AI, it's actually predicted the structure of the proteins. If somebody is from pharma, they might be understanding what I'm talking about. If you know the structure of the proteins, then you will be able to get the DNA structure and other stuff, that R&D related stuff. So once you find the picture of the DNA, you can do a number of curing methods, or you can bring in more disease cures or anything. You can build medicine. You can build a good health related product which can support any human cycle. So any kind of treatment they can address. So these advancements are already happening right now. That's in the biology side. And now GPT-4, if you heard about ChatGPT, it is actually running behind GPT-4. That's the model which is running behind GPT-4. GPT means generative pre-trained model. That means it is already trained on some huge amount of data. Imagine that GPT-4 is already trained on some around 2 crores of books. Imagine a person who already read 2 crores of books, how intellectual he would be, right? That is what GPT-4, ChatGPT we are talking about. So now they tested this model again in some exams, medical exams, some law firm related exams, some academical exams. They were performing very well, and they are achieving more than 8 or 9 grades in those exams, more than the common human, what do you say, IQ. Common human IQ is around 100. Einstein's one is around 150. People say that. And these models IQ is around 165 something. So you can imagine how much IQ is having these models. And you are going to use those models as assistants for you. That's what the beauty of it. And you just think about it, how I can use this model in such a way that helps me in my life in all directions. It can be mental, psychological, economical, anything, or physical. If you want to have a fitness formula, if you want to have a 6 months program, diet program, you just ask the model, it will give you day to day what needs to be taken intake. And you ask for a physical fitness program, it will just generate a program. I can do that just right ahead. I'll show you that. You see, this is the chat GPT I'm talking about, and these are number of models they are providing. I'll just select ChatGPT 4. Even you can register for this one, chatgpt.com, with your Gmail, and there is a free version available, and to some limitation it can ask you. So here I'm just asking, provide me a fitness program for next 6 months. My target is to reduce my weight from, say, I'm 75 kgs to around 60 kgs. I'm just mentioning. It may ask some questions to you. Okay. And if it is already having the details, then it will provide you the plan for you. See, it just provided me 1 month plan, first 1 month, building the foundation. What you need to focus on: light exercises, building habits, nutrition awareness. What kind of routine exercises I need to do. Usually what happens, you need to have a fitness instructor, health or diet plan, dietitian. These two consultations you need, and you need to get this plan combined together, right? But obviously it can provide you. Either way, it will suggest at the end. You can also check with the doctor's prescription as well, right? It is not saying that you need to completely follow blindly whatever I'm suggesting. Make sure you already have a consultation with your doctor and then proceed with this program. That's how it will give you, right? It just gave me that program. Now I'll just ask my model to give me a financial plan for me, financial uh, investment plan for my next 5 years. My target is to get, you can say, 10 crores as returns. If you are expecting 10 crores returns, what ways you can do the investment, in which areas you can do that, and how how much you have to invest. These things, it might give you the details. So here is a 5-year financial investment plan to me. Assess current situation. Year one, you need to go for high risk because you have to get high returns within short period, right? That's the reason it will suggest you to take some more risks in your investment plan, and you can split the investments into stock, mutuals, real estate, crypto, emergency. It will suggest you also there are some changes. High risk is there, but can provide exponential returns as well, right? How you can scale up these things, and how you can diversify your investments, and how you can focus on liquidity and then returns. So this is just tip of the iceberg. That's what I'm saying. You got some picture, right? And this is another model called Cloud.ai. This is also free version. You can register for, and there are some limitations on a daily basis, a number of questions that you can ask. Now I will ask, build a web application for me in Next.js to a shopping cart. I'll simply ask for a shopping cart application to sell electronic items. I'm just saying that it should be like a Amazon or Flipkart or something like that. Similar to Amazon, I would say. This is a two-liner. I'm just asking to build a web application for me. You see the wonders. It is trying to write a code, maybe a basic program, basic application it will give you, but on further questions, more and more chat, it will be improved, and it can be reutilized. So it would generate the program for you, and it will provide you the steps also, how you can do this, where you can deploy these applications, all this stuff, right? The same thing I'm giving to one more model, which actually will generate me the UI part of it. Okay. So what I'm saying is, build a web application for me in Next.js to shopping cart to sell electronic items similar to Amazon. Okay. This is v0.dev. This will give you the front end actually. So it is actually replacing your designer role. It is actually replacing your UI developer role. Just generating the thing. Just wait for it. So my intention to say that models are already there, they're already running, and they are actually taking part of your regular jobs in some areas. If you are a developer, code assistants are already there, like GitHub Copilot, and Cursor is there, one tool called Cursor, I would say. This is similar to your Visual Studio Code, which will be an editor working like a Visual Studio Code, but it can build applications for you. Okay, Control Shift I will give me some window. I'm saying that building a web application in next. I don't know Next.js. I'm just saying that because it is the latest UI framework which is being built. So I'm asking this cursor to build the model for me, build the application for me, building a web application. For a shopping cart with features similar to Amazon.com. Okay, I'm just giving you some insights what is happening here. Using this tool, I can build an application within a week. You tell me how many days I need to build a regular web application like shopping cart. Anyone, whoever is worked on developer, can tell me.
Couple months, funny.
With complete testing and launching the product to the production,
Yeah.
is going to more than a month, I would say. Maybe a week it is going to take for you now if you are having these tools. You can check that production file structure is created here, and it started creating the files for you. Okay, it's a Next.js application. And if you want more UI or include more features, I'll just ask here, include search product list, product detail, pages, discounts, offers, launching products. I can add anything. So now tell me, do we need a developer to build an application for a business owner? No, right? But remember, whatever I'm typing here is the key for you. That is actually called a prompt. Okay. Anybody know about prompt engineering?
I think the skill to get the right information by typing the right prompt.
Exactly. So whatever I'm typing here is actually the key aspect for me. I'm giving more detailed information. Some cases you simply say, people usually tend to type in Google, right? Google search. You simply say that, what is this? What is this concept called? Or something like that. You ask that. But don't do that same thing here while you are using these large language models. You just need to provide clear details. What is happening? Why is this happening? And what type of things you are expecting as an output. Okay, that constructive formation of your questions is nothing but prompt engineering. So the text, whichever is called as a prompt, you're trying to construct that prompt. So that's a new role which is evolved in AI era right now. People who doesn't have technical skills, if you are able to form proper sentence structure formation, and if you are good in English, actually you can jump into the prompt engineering role. You know, what is the highest package they are offering in prompt engineering now in US? I heard 700K was the package they offered for one of the resource, and 400, 300K is actually the average value. Imagine 300K, 400K. When will we get that in our with our existing experiences, right? That's where this prompt engineering coming into the picture, and then there is a specific course for it. Even anybody can go through those courses and then try to understand what is prompt engineering. But the catching point here is, if you are having your domain expertise along with that, And for example, somebody is having pharma experience, chemical experience, chemical field, industry experience, and if they learn the prompt engineering now, they are going to be the top risers in their field. If you are having financial knowledge, if you are having accounting knowledge, if you are good at taxation, if you are good at customer related stuff, and now you are able to get the prompt engineering along with that, because in next 5 years these fields are already having their models embedded into their systems. Once the model is there, you have to question the model, you have to retrieve information, right? That is what the end user guy and end user responsibility. So people will be recruiting the workforce, whoever is having this proper knowledge of prompt engineering capabilities, who can question the model, who can extract more information from the model, more valuable information from the model. They are going to be the top contenders for this. So that's what one of the role prompt engineer about. And you can explore on the internet. There are a lot many courses are there in Udemy, in Coursera, in LinkedIn, everywhere. Once you've done one course, you'll be amazed actually what kind of a prompts I can do. Okay. In the left hand side, you can see I have built some of the I would say assistants. All these are actually my LLM assistants. Each and every assistant is specifically designed for one particular task. For example, this is interviewer. You know what is this interviewer is going to do? I'll just show you what exactly the rules were mentioned to it. Meet the interviewer, a specialized AI designed to conduct the professional and structured job interviews. It will do a job interview for you. Now, if you want to prepare for some kind of an interview, you just ask this model to help you. And now, so I need to attend for a Python programmer role. Help me now. I'm just asking that. What interviewer is going to say? Let's begin by preparing for your Python programming interview. I'll ask you some typical questions you might encounter during the interview. Answer them as if you are in the interview, and we can refine your responses. You can understand, right? It is going to be an assistant for you in your interview. You choose the technology, it will be there for you. Why? Because that model is already trained upon 2 crores of books. Obviously, that might have already have some knowledge of Python. Give me some basics of Python. I'll just ask them. It will just give you the curriculum. It will just give you the concept. You just ask that, and you should be probably getting that. So anybody who is not even having a knowledge on programming can learn the programming here. That's the reason I'm saying don't worry, even if you are a non-technical guy, even if you are not at all an IT person, you can also learn the things here and attain some knowledge and acquire some knowledge and then gain some specific things which are needed for your roles. Clear? Any questions so far? Is it
Following.
sorry?
Following, I said.
Yeah, great. I just want to give you some understanding on the tools now, because these are the tools are being now popular, and at least if you know what are these tools about and why we are using these tools, you will survive at least to some extent in AIML world. And if you include these in your profile skills, now people are calling you, especially this one. The smiley symbol is there, right? Hugging face, we call it as. This is the platform where all the models are being deployed now. So whoever is trying to build a model, from the big companies to mid-level companies to startups, and even from graduates who are trying to build their profiles, everybody is trying to build a model. All of those models can be deployed in Hugging Face. We call it as Hugging Face. So OpenAI, Claude, Anthropic, Gemini, and Meta. These are the 4 companies, top contenders right now. They have their own models already built in. Some of them are free, some of them are proprietary. Even Meta is actually giving a free model for you. I have installed that model in my machine as well. Now, I don't need those browser-related large language models, OpenAI or Meta or anything actually. You can install this model in your local machine. Of course, you need a bit of higher configuration in your model. It needs some GPU capabilities, means graphic card capabilities, at least 4 GB to 8 GB. Graphic card capability, if you add, you can install the model in your machine, and then you can use this as a chatbot assistant, or you can use this as an open, the API assistant. So on top of it, you can build some tools. That means you are already having the model with you, sitting with you. You are talking to that model, and your model is giving you some output, output, text input and output. That is going to be part of your integration of your tools building when you are trying to build. So you can learn the things, you can learn programming, you can learn Python, you can learn bit of mathematics, and you can learn the tools, you can learn how to build the tools, and you can learn how to market these tools. Even you can launch your own product also. That's what I mean to say. So a lot of things are happening here. This is the model. I just simply start the server, it will be generated now, and then I can use with my local host URL. 1234 is a port number. That's it. And it can be used to integrate my own API. I can build a tool using this model now. I don't need to pay for this one because this is installed in my local machine. This is Llama 3.2. If you are wondering, this model is already with you people. Anybody have observed this? It is already with you guys right now.
ChatGPT.
No. Llama 3.2 I'm talking about. ChatGPT is a proprietary one. You need to pay some amount after some limitation, right? $20 monthly you need to pay for whatever I'm doing right now in ChatGPT. But this is Llama, which is from Meta company. Nothing but your WhatsApp, Facebook owner, right? Look at your WhatsApp and check there. You do have a Meta chatbot is available in your WhatsApp chat. Right ahead, you can look at that.
Yes, it is there.
It added recently.
You saw the model there. Model name is also mentioned there. Llama 3.2 is there. Just behind the name. Meta. In that chat window, just on
Yes.
top of
It
the
is.
model. That is actually a model which is connected for you. Whatever I typed in my chat GPT right now, you can do it using that. These things, these questions, you can ask that model. So model is already with you people. You don't know that most of the time. It's been there last two months. Okay. Now what I have mentioned for my interview preparation, right? You can do that with your model, which is already there within your mobile actually. All right. So that's about Meta. The same model is actually I have installed in my machine so that I can run on my own whenever I can do it. I can now build chatbots. I can build AI tools. I can launch this product as a SaaS product, AI SaaS product, which can be a monthly subscription for the users. So what I'm saying is you earn the skills, you learn the skills, and then you can survive on your own, basically. You don't need to depend on your job as well. Once you are well equipped with the tools, skills that we are already working with, then you should be in a position to control your life as well. That's what I would say. Okay. And one more important tool I would like to introduce to you, this one, Perplexity AI. Anyone know about it? Perplexity? This is actually competing with Google now. If you are using Google for search, better change to this one. This is having AI capabilities. In the background, it is actually using ChatGPT model only. There is an API calling ChatGPT models, and this is also free for you. So Pro version is also there where you can use some APIs and you can integrate in your own tools also. What is the benefit of this one? In Google, when you try to ask for some concepts or anything, right, it will give you 10,000 links. You have to navigate through each and every link every time, right? Whereas if you are using Perplexity, you can do one thing. I'll just ask. You can tell me what I need to ask. I'll ask. Explain. I'll say simply artificial intelligence. You'll try this in Google, right? I'm just typing the name in Perplexity. What it is doing is actually you have 10,000 links in Google, but you have to navigate through each and every link. But this thing will summarize everything. For example, top 5 links it will be picking up like this one 1, 2, 3, 4, and it is combining the content of that summary and giving you the total summary. It is not giving you a specific link or specific resource. It's the combination of summarized text from all these links. Okay, even those links are also referred here with the numbers. You can just click on right click, open it in a new tab, and you will see from this source it is getting the data. For this one, from this source it is getting the data, and now based on these two links it got summarized the content, and it is providing you there here. Clear? Try to use this one as your replacement for Google. You'll be amazed. Even learning the things also is best using this. And there is one limitation for ChatGPT and Claude's Anthropic, these models. You know what is that limitation? These models have time limitation because that model need to be trained, right? During that training period, it will be offline model. It doesn't know anything about the internet data. Now, what happened here in this case is GPT-4 model, this GPT-4 or 4o, this got trained in last year until November, December, somewhere around. So now if you ask this model about Trump's assassination around in the last 2-3 months, right, that happened, doesn't know anything about that. Means your ChatGPT, your large language models, most of the models doesn't have the latest information. Those are all pre-trained ones at the cutoff date. So I'm just asking, what is your cutoff date? So beyond that date, what happened? It doesn't know. See, ChatGPT says that October 2003, until what happened, it knows. So if you're asking about 2004, what happened, it doesn't even know. So don't depend completely on these models. But Perplexity is actually trying to acquire the data from current top links. That means it is giving you the current trends. It knows about it. That is where lacking behind the models. So most of the developers, what they're trying to do is they're trying to build some agent which will search in the entire internet and use the brain of your model. But model might not be knowing some of the latest information. So your agent will be knowing about the information, and then it will combine the thoughts of the model. Then it is successful. That is what the problem for the models. So what we can do, the one option is, again, after 6 months or 1 year, OpenAI will try to train the model again with the latest data. And then the cutoff date might change at that some point of time. Until that time, this model might not be having the latest information. What about this particular model? We'll just ask this. What is your cutoff date? It is saying April 2004. So it is the latest one, at least when compared with ChatGPT. And this Claude.ai is very good for programming related data extraction. Technical related stuff, it can work perfectly. ChatGPT also works better, but the performance of Claude is 90%, and whereas ChatGPT might be around 85% on coding. That's where it is the difference. Okay. So these are the limitations of these models. That's the reason we have to fill that gap. The developers need to fill the gap when they are trying to build the tools. That's what the core concept of AI tools implementation. If you're trying to build an AI assistant will have the linguistic capabilities from models, translation of text from one language to other language. You give the input in the English, and it will convert that into your local language. And again, the voice will talk within that local language only. That is already happening. Now, this particular ChatGPT is having a voice assistant. You know, in mobile version, you'll have that voice assistant where you can record option. He'll be there here. You just click on that. You talk in Telugu and ask the model to speak in Telugu or Hindi. It will talk to you, and even with a lot of expressions, it will talk. Of course, I would say it is not 100% accurate or 100% human related voice, but at least they are achieving 70 to 80% of the capabilities and the qualities. So the core part is, though we are not 100% there is a chance that it is going to replace you somewhere. Voice assistant can replace the customer care people. Now you are getting IVR calls or the customer care diary customer calls, right? No, you won't be getting those as you move on. One more thing, the machine learning is the core part. If you learn that, then you will be in the business for longer period. Why? Because for example, Airtel announced yesterday or day before yesterday, they were able to restrict 1200 crores calls of the spam calls that are customers getting. How they were able to do that? They just introduced the AI capabilities and machine learning capabilities on their data. Based on that, what they are trying to do is, if there is a new number created and if n number of calls are going across the country, or else if there is a number which is already existing for a longer period and they are trying, now suddenly n number of calls are being happening against the n number of numbers across the globe or country, then they're trying to capture those patterns. Immediately they're trying to down that number until the customer goes and reports saying that this is my personal number, or I'm not going to use for that any for business purpose, something like that. They're trying to ban the number, block the number. That's what is happening right now. That is what machine learning already part of it. So as you move on, maybe in next 1 year or 2 years, you won't be getting all these customer care calls. Everything will be filtered. That is also possible right now. Right? I'll conclude. I've taken already 10 more minutes. Actually thought of discussing about this particular thing. Anybody remember this diagram? This is a neuron symbol, I would say. You might have heard about it in your 7th or 8th standard. Basically, in your science subject, it would be there, right? This neuron is the core concept behind our neural networks. That's what my point is to say. Because you do have dendrites here on the left-hand side. They will take some input and it will do some functioning in the center and it will give some output. This is the same functionality being used in your neural networks or the deep learning. If you understand this functionality, then you will be able to try to get more understanding on what we are going to talk about in the 4 weekends program, where how the model works and why the model works and how it is being implemented and what changes we can do based on these things. The right hand side part is the core part, similar to the structure of neuron. That's the reason they call it as neural networks. They're trying to mimic your neuron, which is existing in your brain cell, actually. So whatever is the functionality of neuron, the same thing is happening in neural networks. So it takes some input, it do some functionality on top of it, and it gives you some output. That output will be compared with the expected output. If that is not, and if it is not, if it is varying from there, then obviously that will try to correct that problem. Why there is a variation? What should be done to make it right predicted value? That is core functionality. I just put in a workflow diagram here that would give you, when you send an input to some model, forget about these layers for now. I just give an input to a model will predict something. but there is an actual value. If y and y dash are both are same, then your model is perfectly predicting 100% accuracy with accuracy. But if there is a difference between y dash and y, you need to do some functioning where your mathematical subject comes into the picture. You don't need to worry about it. So your mathematical algorithm will try to adjust these weights. We call it as input weights, so that in such a way that your input gives you a proper output, which will be matched your y. So y dash and y both are same in this case. You got it right? That's what I mean to say. No problem.
Can you repeat this last one for me?
Yeah, there is an input here, right? Here you give an input to your model. Model might be having a layers, right? Forget about the layers for now. My point is, for example, in your ChatGPT case, you gave an input X, right? You entered some text in the ChatGPT just before now. We did some examples, right? And it is trying to give you some values on output as an output. Imagine that you do have some prediction need to do. For example, stock market prediction I need to do. I have entered my stock market value, and your model will be trying to work on your data, and it will try to predict the stock market value in future, which is y dash. Okay, y is actually the actual value. Imagine that I'm trying to find out a stock market value in last 10 years. I have 20 years of data. Out of the 20 years, last 5 years, what is the prediction? Is it my model predicted properly or not? I need to do it. So first 15 years of data would be my data, machine learning data, where I will train my model on 15 years of data. And my model will try to predict next 5 years of data, right? So this is where y dash and y I'm talking about. So if the prediction is varying from the actual value, deviating from actual value, then you have to fix that. You can simply add loss function. We call it as loss function. What is the loss between y and y minus y dash? So if the loss is minor, you would simply say you are good. If the loss is higher, your model is not good. You have to train again your model and do that again. That's what the main functionality. Clear?
Sure, fun. Thank you.
Cool. I'll just talk about the roles in your current IT roles: software engineer, administrator, analyst, full stack developer, DevOps engineer, business analyst, lead, architect. We do have already these roles available. Okay, you just need to map your roles to your AI roles now. A software engineer can now jump into a machine learning engineer role. If you just have these Python skills, and if you just have these SQL skills, and if you know some modeling concepts around, you will be able to proceed further, and then you can be successful. Even the database administrators also can jump into a data engineer role, data analyst roles. And these are the skills or the capabilities which I'm looking at needed. Okay. And if you're a full stack developer, you can convert your role into an AI engineer role, obviously. You just need to add modeling capabilities to your role, and how I can use my API skills to bring content from model to my application. If you are able to do that, then you are good. You can become a full stack developer, AI full stack engineer. So DevOps engineer, you know, right? They deploy the applications to production usually. CI/CD process they follow. Even MLOps also have a similar criteria. They build some pipelines and they deploy it into the production. So if you have DevOps capabilities, you can jump into MLOps engineer role as well. You can succeed there. And business analyst role is converting into AI product manager role now. You need to know model capabilities. You need to know, understand what is AI and ML, and where your business case fitting into. That capabilities need to be earned by these business analysts so that they can work on this AI.
Funny, I have one small thing. Just there are some infrastructure DevOps engineers. Like, no, I would not say DevOps, but infrastructure in Azure. When you compute infrastructures, right? When you request for infrastructure, how can they be?
Yes. In AWS, Google, GCP Cloud, and Azure, all three clouds are providing these roles. They do have specific platforms for that. PageMaker is one in AWS. Google AI Studio is where they can build the infrastructure and they can work on it.
So please enter everyone.
Sorry? You're clear, right? What I'm talking about?
So you can leverage AI even
Enter
in,
everyone.
Yeah, Azure Admin. That's right.
okay.
So-
enter everyone.
So the data scientist role, actually, if you're a lead engineer, lead developer, and if you are an architect already playing a role in IT, you can jump into this junior data scientist role anywhere. Okay. And as I was mentioning, three branches are there. One is NLP, and then there is a computer vision engineer, AI ethics specialist role, right? These people also can jump into these
Enter
roles.
everyone, please.
What is that? Okay. You got the picture, right? What are the roles that are there available and how you can play these roles? How you can build your skills in such a way that you can develop in AIML. Is it clear?
Yeah.
And these are some of the salaries which I just brought in. AI engineers actually achieving the top salaries. Of course, data scientists also, but it depends on the experience level you are into. If you are having 5 years of a data scientist role, obviously you would be gaining more than an AI engineer. Okay. NLP
These are
engineer is
monthly, right?
there. Annual incomes.
And the
Okay,
figures are not
200K
clear, actually.
US dollars, 200K, 155K.
Okay.
You want me to maximize it. Okay. So NLP engineer, I mentioned about it, right? So Gen AI, people are hearing, right? Generative AI. That is nothing but your NLP, text generation, computer vision, image or video generation, speech recognition. All these three branches together combined we call as generative AI. So if somebody is saying generative AI, Gen AI engineer, don't confuse. They are talking about either text or image or voice generation capabilities. You don't need to know about model building in that aspect. You just need to know how to call these APIs into your applications and use these so that you can build a text generating models or vision generating models or speech recognition models. Okay. So these are all some of the roles. Robotics engineer is also completely kind of a mechanical role which can convert into robotics. Nowadays we do have that branching as well, right? Robotics branching. And UX designers also, they do have specific roles in that aspect, but at some point of time they'll be replaced by the AI tools assistants, because now you have seen one demo, right, where you're generating the UI design and then it is being completely replaced by the UI UX designer. So research scientist, algorithm developer, these are small different kind of programs or roles being generated, but the core functionality is like you are looking at these areas, and these are the job fields which you are looking at. We mostly have discussed about all of these now. If you look at that, okay, these many branches are there, so don't worry about it. First of all, you don't need to think about will this is going to be a good thing or not. Absolutely 100% it is a good path to go choose with. Only the thing is you need to build your career for at least a few months in next upcoming months, and you need to have proper planning on a daily basis. You need to learn the things, then only you'll be able to proceed on that. Okay, so coming to the curriculum, it is 4 weekends. I'm just splitting the weekends to 2 weekends for most of the AI and ML theoretical concepts, and subsequent weekends to some extent some programs. Even if you are not a programmer also, that is fine, because I'll be touch basing on Python skills at some point of time. Python introduction, whatever is needed for you to just to read a program, that is essential. So you'll be able to understand this, because this is not a high level programming. It is like general English most of the time. You'll get to know about it. Even a non-programmer can learn Python within 2 weeks of time. That's the assurance I can give you people. So there are types of learning are there. Machine learning, what is supervised and what is unsupervised. I'll try to explain to you all these concepts, and then I will jump into some of the tools which we are building. How you can build a tool, how you can build a chatbot, and how you can integrate your APIs to the model. All this stuff we can look into. So every day I'm having 2 hours of sessions for next 4 weekends. It is obviously 4 weekends would be total 16 hours of total. I know it is not enough actually, but you will be overwhelmed with at least a lot of concepts in this phase. My only suggestion is make a note down of all the concepts, and I'll try to give you a number of resources are there where you can look into and where you can start from. Because some of the courses are at high level, they'll directly jump into the concepts and try to explain you the theory, which will be overwhelmed for you to understand. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to compress the content and give you at a high level, and then you decide the path. Once you decide the path, just go deep level. That's what my suggestion would be. If you are deciding to look into Gen AI, decide whether you have to go with the text generation or image generation or voice generation, because each and every field is a $1 billion market now. Even voice recognition itself is a $3 billion market in last year. It can be a 5 billion, it can be a 10 billion within next 5 years or so. You know, companies like Philips, Sony, Samsung, these are all investing on speech recognition as well. So different areas are there. You just need to choose the path which is right for you, which is you are more interested in. AI capabilities and model capabilities, building capabilities. All this stuff is easy for you to understand. Okay. Any question and answers session? Can we do that, or do you feel like you're already done with it?
Funny, I have one question.
Yeah.
We have compared with Google and Perplex, right?
Right.
So you said that it will take the latest data. From
Correct.
where, which resources they will take? Is there any
Google.
separate Google engine? They will
No,
the data.
it is searching in Google only. But
Okay.
but the problem is you have to open every link and you need to go through that link, right?
Yes.
Whereas it is summarizing the content and bringing the content to you just to understand.
Got it. Got it.
Okay. Anything else?
Definitely a good session, Fanny. There's a lot of information, but to be very, very honest, some went above head, and very difficult to capture all of that information in one go.
I know.
I think we can have more
No,
conversation.
but it is essential, because you need to know what is their core function and what are the branches are there and how you can build your path. At least if you decide on that, then you can jump into that program, and then you can build your own path from there onwards. That's the idea to
Sure.
give it.
Thanks.
Okay. What I'm trying to do is I'll share the curriculum for you people, and then I'll share a link for registration as well. And the course would be 10,000 actually for 4 weekends. Just a thought of giving it. I know there are different courses are there. There are different people trying to give you on a high level, but it is a different case in this current trending. I thought I have to bring in for everyone so that it will be an introductory program. It's not a master's degree or anything. That's the reason I thought I have to communicate that. This is the curriculum I'm talking about, and I will share the course details as well in a moment. Just give me a minute. took a lot of time, I think. Or else I will do one thing. I will send you the mail or communicate to you people. Is that fine? My batch will start on November 2nd.
Sure, Bunny.
Okay,
Sure. Thanks.
cool then. Thank you.
Thanks, Bunny. Bye bye.
Thanks, Suresh. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Bunny.
Bye.